Welcome to day 11 of my live photo challenge. We're gonna try using a streaming service again today, and what we're gonna be editing is a dragonfly photo that I took while I was at a cottage over the last couple of days. So I have not looked at these files at all. I don't know how they turned out. I took a bunch and I'm hoping there's one good one in there that's nicely in focus. So we will take a look here. Now, the first few that I took, the dragonfly was sitting on the end of a broom handle, which I don't love, like the artificial look of the yellow and the red. I'd rather something more natural. But then it moved to like a branch or a stick that was sticking up in the air, which is a much better situation in my opinion. I just want to take a quick look at these first. This was also in very bright sun, so I'm not sure how that's going to turn out. And again, the shallow depth of field that you're always working with macro. So the detail here on the dragonfly's back is very cool, and some of the wings, but then it gets out of focus on the ends of the wings and the tail and the head. So that's what I am afraid I'm going to be working with for some of these photos, or most, maybe not, maybe all. Like you can see here, like this wing is in great focus and it looks really cool, but it's not, the rest of it's blurry, so it's not really a good photo. And I think I'm gonna run into that a lot because it was, you know, the dragonfly was moving and I was changing settings and adjusting my angle a lot and things like that. So most of these are going to be a quick, I'm going to quickly eliminate them. And I do kind of have the feeling that there might not be one that's great. Let's take a look at this one. Yeah, I just want the whole thing to be in focus, but I don't know that that's possible. Okay, so a lot of this tail is in focus until the very end, which is not bad. A lot, like this part of the wings in focus, some of the legs. The head is covered by the wings, and I think probably all the photos are going to be that way. Because the branch was like up above my head, I couldn't get any higher on it, so. Okay, this one seems like, okay. The body has cool focus and then we get blurry over here. I don't know, we'll see. What else we got to work with if there's something better. Okay, the whole tail is in focus here. And a lot of the body, and actually the head's not too bad considering it's behind a wing. And then we get blurry here. So that one, that's kind of cool, and I wonder if there's any chance I could do some playing around in Photoshop and blending two photos. Since so much of this is in focus, maybe I could get one where this part of the wings are in focus and blend them. But I do know that I was really focusing on the body when I was taking the photos, so that may not be possible. I don't know if I got any with that part of the wing in focus. Now this one I think might be more in focus than the other one. Well, maybe not. Okay, that one is not as good, I don't think. I'm gonna keep them zoomed in so I can compare and see. Okay, that's actually kind of cool focus at the top of the head there. And the tail. Okay, that might be the best one so far. Oh yeah, I wish I would have thought to focus on the other end of the wings for one of these photos, because I don't know if I did. It's hard when you're working in sun too, because you can't always get a good view of what, can't always see what you've got on your screen on the back of your camera very well. There is maybe, no, not really, I don't know. If anyone watches this in the replay, let me know if you think it's a better plan for me to skip this part of the process when I'm just choosing photos. I mean, I can see how talking about it might be interesting to some extent to understand the process of choosing the photos, but... Or if anyone was online with me at the time, if I actually scheduled these lives and you could plan to be here if you wanted to, then I could be chatting with whoever's here, but... It's kind of an interesting, different perspective, different pose. So really hiding behind his wings in all of these. This is maybe cool. Which one's more in focus? Possibly that one. Got another one here. Kind of an interesting angle if I could get it to... Yeah, I don't know, something kind of cool about that. I might come back to it. Okay. Well, that's disappointing I didn't get those wings in focus on one of these. But I have noticed that when I'm going through insect photos, sometimes I just think there's nothing good, and then I go back to it and I accept the imperfection, and turns out there's actually something pretty cool there that I just couldn't see past because I was imagining the ideal. This almost looks like an eyelash right here. Funny. Okay, so I have quite a few with this blue background that I picked. It's going to take a little bit of finicky choosing to decide which one is the best to focus on. This one, even though it's, you know, not the best, it's really interesting to me. Maybe because I can see his face. Wonder what I can do with this. If it can be turned into something cool. Do a little before and after. This makes me wish I could have gotten in front of his face a little more. It's cool, but I don't know. if it's quite there. If I ever get the chance to take photos of another dragonfly who wants to sit there and model for me, it would be cool to try some different things after seeing what I got this time. This guy, I don't know if he's worth pursuing, so let's maybe go back to this. I'm gonna get rid of these two because I don't think they're as good as that other one. He's really behind his wings there, but I think he is here too. I think this one's kind of cool. Since there's nobody sitting there with me, I'll just take my time. Because sometimes the deciding between two photos, I think his face is better in the right photo. How about his tail? Oh, slightly better in the left, but I think the right is more in focus than the left. Yeah, so I'm gonna take that one out. Compare these two now. I think his body's a smidge better in the left. Oh, I think the tail's better in the left too. Oh yeah, definitely. How about the other side? Okay, this is where it gets tricky. So, I don't know. One can be better in one way, another can be better in another. Okay, that one is better, I think. Yeah. Sometimes this is really hard with sorting through photos of people too. Deciding which one's better when they're really similar. I think it's so interesting how the tail of the insect is. If I had to choose there, I'd say the left was slightly more crisp, the tail, but it's so not a big difference. The body's probably better on the left too. I think I like the face a little better on the right. It's so minor though. No, I think I actually like the left better, so I'll get rid of that one. Oh, that face is pretty good. Less, okay, but the tail is not as good, right? Tricky. Let's just take a look from behind. Oh. That's a good tail. Okay, the first two don't have good tails. I think. Yeah, I think we'll get rid of that one. I think this is the one. So I'm gonna give it 5 stars so I don't lose track, because I kind of want to hang on to the others anyway. This one's interesting, but I don't think I like it as much. This one's pretty cool, but I didn't. Yeah, I love that you can see his face. It's pretty fun. I'm gonna give this guy 4 stars and come back to him, see if there's anything I can do to salvage him. Okay. I don't know how long that took. It was a bit of a process choosing the best one, but that is the reality of how it goes. So now, I'm not sure I love this green blur that's over here, but I can edit that out later if I decide I don't want it. Sometimes that can be cool. I also don't know if I love the angle of the photo. Like, this is probably more like how it really looked, but then I thought it would be cooler if you could see the bug at a different angle, so I was experimenting with the angle. Like, I don't know, is that cooler if you could bring it down, if I could extend the sky? Like, I want this bug who's up here to be a little lower, but if I extend the blue sky with some editing, I could do that. The question is, do I want him at that angle, or do I want him at the angle the photo took him at originally, kind of looking down? Well, I don't know, so for now I'm just gonna reset the crop and let it be as it is. Oh, Jackie's comment gets a little experiment. There we go. Hi Jackie, I don't know how long you were there, I just noticed your comment. Yeah, I like the one with the face too. He's pretty cute. I'm definitely gonna play with him. I don't love how bright the stump gets here, and he's really in the dark, it feels like, but I might be able to, you know, I might be able to find a way to make him work, because he's kind of cool, and his atmosphere around him is kind of cool too. But because the coloring is a little easier to work with here, I'm gonna play with this one for now a little bit more and see if I can help him to come across as a little more crisp, even. A little more clear than he was, and sadly I don't have another photo that shows this part of the wings in focus, or else I would be using that. He does look like he's smiling. It's pretty cute. I really wish I could have gotten more shots of that angle to play with, but I just have the one. Well, maybe it's worth letting go of some of the technicalities that I wish were better on this one because of the funness of having this cute little smiling bug. So interesting to see like your comments about him, because it makes me want to reconsider it a little bit. I'm gonna try and extend your comment here. This is me learning my software. Let's see, can I make it? Come on. I don't know why it's not. Oh, I know. I do know why. How's this gonna work? There, now I can see your comment, I think. Yeah, I think I will. You know what? Let's see. Can I make this stump look less bright if I play with this? I might be able to like do 2 different exposures and then combine them and paint the stump in at a less bright. I'm using Lightroom. That's the software that I'm using right now. I usually start with Lightroom, and then from there, if needed, I'll go into Photoshop. So I'll do a lot of the lighting adjustments, basically the way that the photo is exposed. And if you think about anything that would have been done in an actual physical Lightroom back when we used to do photography with film, that's what can be done in Adobe Lightroom. And then once you've got your exposure and everything looking the way you would like, then you can bring it into Photoshop and do some more funky editing. For example, if I want to do different layers and blending of different photos, or any sort of like warping of photos, or anything like a little more drastic like that, that's when I would bring it into Photoshop. So when I'm on a live like this, I'm kind of conscious of how long it takes, because I don't know, like most of my lives have been really short, fairly short, just taking a photo. And sometimes the editing process can take a long time, and I feel like it could get really boring sitting here watching me play around with it. So I'm not really, I guess I'm just trying to figure out what is a reasonable amount to do on a live like this. So like as I'm sitting here thinking about what I might try with the edit of that photo, I'm thinking, do I really want to do all of that on a live, or should I just do that on my own and not expect anyone to sit through a whole live of that? Let's see how he has come along from the beginning. So you can see how he's a little bit brighter. You can hopefully see a little bit more of the contrast, clarity. I think it's improved already. Whereas this guy's a little trickier. I mean, he's definitely better than he was. I've brought more light in, but then that also makes the stump too bright. So that's why I think I would do 2 different edits and then put them in Photoshop and combine them. Yeah, they are both cute. Yeah, do the thing that makes sense. Makes sense in which way though, Jackie? Makes sense for my editing and my process, even though it's long and possibly boring, or makes sense for YouTube? And maybe this is just a learning process. Maybe I'm gonna realize that sitting here editing is long and boring for someone to watch, and so the thing to do is to film it and clip out the boring parts or fast forward them. I don't know, I think about how you do your art videos and show your process. Like if you've got something to say and talk about, it can be interesting to just sit and watch you, even though like you're just maybe sometimes slowly working your way through a painting. If I was just watching you do the painting, I might fast forward, but when I'm listening to you talk about something, even if it, like whether it has to do with the painting or something else, then I want to sit through and listen and hear what you have to say. But sometimes I get a little lost in the editing and I just am quiet. Like I'm sitting here talking to you and I'm just clicking around on the photo, not really making progress. So yeah, I don't know. But I think that's partly what the whole point is of doing the daily challenge, is to just get in front of a camera and do something and find out what works and what doesn't work and make adjustments. So I guess that's what I'm doing. Yeah, so for now, I think maybe what I'll do is I'll just say, hey, here is the probably pretty close to the final edit. I'll probably bring it into Photoshop and play around a little bit, especially with this one. Maybe I can record part of the process of that, and if it seems worth sharing, I could share that in a separate video and just experiment with what it would be like to edit one. I think that's probably what I'll do, because I'm feeling like this might be dragging on too much. So thanks for joining me, Jackie, and for anyone else who may watch the replay as I work my way through learning how to do all this stuff. Hope you have an awesome day, and I'll see you tomorrow.